Welcome everybody to my channel, and let's look at another comic book. Tales to Astonish issue 50 is the first appearance of the supervillain Whirlwind, but at first he was called the Human Top. This is issue 103 in a complete Marvel Comics reading order. The issue has a cover date of December 1963 and a release date of September 3rd, 1963. The story is written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Steve Ditko and Don Heck, colored by Stan Goldberg, and lettered by Sam Rosen. The cover shows the Human Top robbing a department store, with Giant Man at the front entrance and the Wasp inside trying to catch him. I like how the cover calls the Human Top unbeatable. This issue starts with the origin story of one David Cannon. He is I will say he's a mutant here, whose power is to spin his body at great speeds. Growing up, Cannon bullied his peers for not paying for his show, showing off his abilities, and he also robbed food from stores. I like how the cops easily catch this guy with a net he accidentally jumps into. As he grew up, he used his abilities legitimately by becoming a pro ice skater. David is so good, he realizes he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do, so he goes on a crime spree and no one can stop him. Hank Pym reads about these crimes performed by a spinning robber, the Human Top. Hank Pym ignores them for now, thinking the guy's just a common crook, although we see his crime spree goes back to 1959. While experimenting with their powers, the Wasp and Ant-Man get a message from the ants telling Ant-Man about the Human Top planning to rob a department store at 10 a.m. So, I should provide some context. I know I just called Hank Pym Ant-Man, but Hank Pym first became Giant Man last issue in issue 49, and I like how the Wasp points out to him how he's acting like he's too awesome of a hero to stop a common crook. This brings him back down, and he will go after the Human Top tomorrow morning. The second panel also shows the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, flirting with Hank. Even though the series earlier implied he's a bit too old for her, and even though he likes her too, he knows that it's a bad idea and pretends to be oblivious and too busy with science for love. The next day, when Hank Pym is undercover in the department store, the Human Top steals the store's payroll from all the guards, and right off the bat, we see the Human Top cracking jokes, and he doesn't physically harm anyone while running. When I first read this, I was surprised how charismatic he was. Human Top is chased into the street, and Giant Man and Wasp can't keep up. Giant Man almost creates a car accident by jumping into the road. And the Human Top evades Giant Man every step of the way. He makes Giant Man look like a joke here. The story ends without the Human Top getting captured. He gets away at the end, and it leaves off on a tease for the villain's next plan, which his story continues next issue. The Human Top, aka Whirlwind's first appearance, gave us his whole origin story. I like how he is a simple crook, and he knows it. Human Top actually still has his ice skating job at the same time he's committing crimes as a supervillain. You don't see the supervillain in his first appearance be shown to still do his normal job, usually. I love the Human Top is a smart mouth here. He makes this action scene really entertaining. His power's pretty simple though. I guess I never thought about somebody with his power rolling on his side on the ground at super speed to escape, which he does at one moment of the issue. I like how Giant Man / Ant-Man uses his ants in the chase to weaken the sidewalk underneath the Human Top to get him to lose his balance. I like the little moments where there is still some ant stuff in here, though Hank never shrinks or wears his Ant-Man helmet. To take down the Human Top next time, not only does Hank Pym practice against a spinning machine, but he also creates a chemical engineered to increase his speed. Giant Man can't grab the spinning machine and hold on to it even at half speed. It really does seem like the Human Top is unbeatable. I would say each of the two insect heroes have their own character moments, Hank being a workaholic and the Wasp usually being unserious but having a voice of reason. I also want to point out the fact that when the Wasp is small, she's so quiet no one can hear her in the issue. I don't know if that's consistent over all the comics. But she has to grow to her normal human size for people to be able to hear her talk. The Wasp's dialogue nowadays sometimes reads like a parody, and throughout the issue we see regular civilians react to the superpowered world and characters they see every day now. I really like that extra dialogue and art to show some funny scenarios of people reacting to superpowers. After the Human Top humiliates Giant Man, the public is actually more pro-Human Top, since he won the chase against the big hero and the Human Top is viewed as the little guy. But Cannon knows that Giant Man will continue going after him, and one day he will make a mistake that could lead to his defeat. And this is why there's a part 2 to this story. I always love scenes where we get the villain all by himself. It always makes the villain more interesting than just being the criminal the hero has to fight, especially when you only see the villain with the hero. And in the future, David Cannon becomes even more interesting than in this story. I actually believe that the human top, David Cannon, Whirlwind, whatever his alias is at the time, is the Wasp's greatest enemy. I really like this first appearance for a rogue, even a small supervillain like Whirlwind. Now, there are two other stories under the cover. The first one is titled She Never Returned, a reprint from Uncanny Tales 46. Another story is named The Secret of Segatus, and a story is another one. So, sorry, I guess there's three other stories under the cover. The other one is titled No Ending. The story, The Secret of Segatus, is about this king who was hunchback and ugly, so he makes a fake looking ruler he was an advisor to, or pretends to be an advisor to, and the truth is found out at the end. And in No Ending, the dictator has nightmares for being a bad leader. These stories I don't go in depth with because these people never show up again. I don't know how great of a 50th issue celebration this story is for the series, since this title originally was comprised of brand new stories with brand new characters almost every issue, until Ant-Man became the regular star in issue 35. Yeah, those are all my thoughts on Tales to Astonish issue 50. I hope you enjoyed.